What's up, guys? Thursday again, meaning this is the day where we will be tying flies in the new studio, which is this thing of beauty that I'm looking at right now. Well, you know what's coming now, don't you? Oh yeah! The new studio, the new cave, the new thing. I am so excited for this, guys. It turned out way better than I thought it would. So I am still missing the old cave, but I think we will get along just fine in this new place. So I hope you dig that little intro there. I tried to capture as much of the details in here as I could, and I even put on a nice shirt for today for the big premiere. Fun fact about this shirt is I had this on, as you know, at the fly fair in Denmark a couple of weeks back, and as I was running around there, I was filming a bit and photographing a bit, and I was kind of wiping off my lenses for the camera. In this shirt, let me show you guys here. Here's, I didn't know this, of course, but on the inside here is a patch for sunglasses or glasses. I guess that's why Sims is a bit more expensive than the other things, because they really think about their stuff. So fun little bonus for you guys there. Onto the fly we're tying today, which is this one up here, the a craft fur baitfish flatwing kind of thing. Really cool pattern, and super easy to tie as well. So let's jump down to the vise right here next to me and tie up the very first fly in the new setup. Okay, so let's get this one going. Now I'm tying on the light stinger from Eric's today. I usually like to tie this particular fly on the Gammer's hook with a shorter shank, but I figured I kind of want to try to have the point or here the hook point and the gap of the hook kind of a little bit more on the middle of the fly. See if that makes any difference with the hooking capabilities. So start off by snipping off a bunch of craft fur. In this case I'm using a fluorescent chartreuse. Tie that in reverse so that it's pointing forward. And on top of the hook, just like this. Secure that. Like that. Put this off. Flip this over. Make sure that is nice and secure there. This will be a fairly long fly, so I'm guessing you could use it for pike and perch. Now I'm tying in some flash here on each side, just 2 strands. So 2 on each side. It's looking good. Trim the length a bit here in different lengths so it won't tangle up as easily. Just like that. Then you want to grab 2 of these flatwings, grizzly feathers. Measure that out as well. I want these to be just as long as the tail here, which is around here. Cut those off. Into a point like this. Then you want to grab your UV resin, put a drop on this tip here, like that. Place that carefully on the side here before you cure it, like that. You can tie them in as well. I just think that this is a lot easier because they kind of want to turn on you when you tie them in, and this just makes it easier for me to get those feathers sitting right on the side there. So the same thing for the other side. Get that one on there as well. Cure it. And you can even take some more, kind of put a little bit in between the feathers. Let me show you that. Right there, between those feathers. So these aren't going anywhere. Like that. So no fish will pull this out. If they break, they will break up here, not down there. Advance your thread a little bit here, right around this point. Then I want to tie in some gray for the top part. Kind of want to measure that out. Want it just a tiny bit shorter than the tail, not much. So right around here. This you want to tie in on the top half of the hook. Cut this off right around here. And fill up this gap in between front and the back. Turn the fly over. this. Let me get this a bit more straight here. Like that. Get the thread up in the front. Then I want to grab some white for the belly. Same thing here. Use this to measure it out. Like that. Now don't worry that it looks like a mess underneath here, because you will be flipping the sponge back over on itself, so this underneath won't show through. One cool thing I like to do with this though is sometimes I like to tie in some fluorescent orange dubbing underneath this, so when you coat it with your UV resin, that orange will really show through. But not today, keeping it simple. So get that pen out or your reverse tool. I have one here I made myself. Turn this back around, maybe even turn the fly back upside down here, or the right way up. Something weird happened. Let me do that again. Here we go. Kind of have to work with this. Make a loose turn on top of that to keep it all under control. Just like that. Just a few reps should be enough. And then you want to distribute these materials evenly around the hook. Grab your whip finisher. Just make one up here on top of these thread wraps. Hold that tight. It should be enough. Onto the eyes, and as you know, I like to have mine here on my hand so they don't get lost. Put a drop on one side. Don't do that. Like that. To the other side. Wow, sorry about that. I hope I didn't blow your ears out. And that's the worst thing, right? When you have to sneeze in the middle of fly tying, especially when you have a dubbing loop going. Okay, so now that sits there. Kind of wanna get the basic shape going first, so get a bit of resin on here. Don't soak the fly at this point, just give the outer layer of hairs here a small coating, so it's a lot easier to work with. Just like this. Secure that. So now the fly will keep its shape in the vise, and it has a really thin layer on the hairs here, so that also makes it easier to give it the final coating. This UV resin, it's really good, but it doesn't really cope with cold. It kind of gets a lot thicker when it gets cold, and then again it gets a lot thinner if it gets too hot, so I try to keep mine at room temperature. And then just cover up the front part here, the head. On the plus side, when the UV resin is thick like this, because of the cold, it's a lot easier to work with. So now that's done, just harden that up. Oops. And the fly is done. It is in full length. Absolute killer. Alright, that was it. Really cool fly. Kind of similar to the CF baitfish without the flatwings, but it's a killer all the same, so try this one out. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and maybe go over to this page, my Patreon, and have a look over there. And I guess I will see you guys next week.